Welcome to the next episode. I think it's 41 maybe, and we're headed into the dump of Ordinary, an ordinary dump.
They moved the whole landfill here in the middle of New York, and nobody saw a thing. Pretty unbelievable.
They probably used the subway tunnels, since we saw earlier that those are directly connected. I do like this idea, the idea that they moved the least interesting part of the town and just took the whole thing. They created a diorama of all of the interesting places in town, and then they took the dump and they physically moved it. I think that's great. Also, the fact that we have been moving through shuttered, shut down... Oh, it looks like I'm peeking the mic. I hope I haven't been doing that for a whole series of episodes. We've gone from walking through shuttered, shut down offices into a literal dump, and I think that that's a very powerful way to arrange it. There are aspects of this that I might have changed, but certainly it is one of the more interesting sections, visually speaking. Sort of reminds me of Labyrinth, if you've ever seen that, where there's that section where it's she opens her bedroom door, and it's the junkyard, and then there's that little old lady with the giant backpack looking around and going, don't you want this? It's your toy, your child's toy. It looks like their routing has failed them and they're all stuck down there somewhere. I thought that might be an invisible monster. I think it's just a sealed door. So because we came up here, the AI for the creatures is freaking out trying to figure out a way to get up here. They're all hovering down below my feet. See that? We should be able to just tease them out by using some telekinesis. I didn't intend to fall off, but whatever. Ooh, there's a guy over there with some feistiness to him. This is really going on for a while. They're trying to make up for the fact that the game doesn't have any inherent emotional beat at this point by creating emotion via endless fights. And I can't say that's a terrible idea, but I think it would be better if, if there was a reason to feel emotionally bound up in this. And I can think of a lot of ways to make you do it. For example, if you've ever played Life is Strange, there is a dump there as well, and it feels emotionally intense.
We should check that lab.
What lab? That's another one of these problems. We're focused on the dump. We're focused on this detritus, but they tell us to immediately stop looking at it and go somewhere else. The lab they're talking about is over there. Clearly says mobile lab, but chances are you didn't get a chance to see it before it was called out, before it was told to you. Loot. So I think it might have been fun to have a larger level that was based around the dump where we could have gone through and relived, like, oh, here is where we and Jamie did that thing, and over here, that's where my brother and I accidentally found that dog that was melting and all that stuff. But we never really get a chance to feel just how unordinary the things in Ordinary were. This is obviously not the size of a dump. This is a tiny fraction of a dump. And it could have very easily gone on, as far as the eye could see. I think maybe they wanted to leave it fairly low-key, fairly simple, because it would have taken a lot more assets. As you can see, the dump ground is really pretty primitive. It's not up to par with the rest of the textures in the game. And if you started to wander around a full level of junk, maybe you would have started to notice that. Am I missing anything? Probably. It's fine. Let's go to the mobile lab. Here we are, the mobile lab. A nice yellowy orange goldenrod, a favorite. Trying to think about whether or not this is a color scheme that is always matched to OOP research, but it's certainly reminiscent of the OOP colors.
Effective immediately. I'm setting up a new department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there. That's where my focus will be now. The ordinary site remains as is. We'll be back to... I don't know when.
Darling took the projector to the research sector.
Duh.
He dedicated a whole area to it, so he knew it was important. Dimensional research. That's where we go next.
So this was a wild goose chase. There was nothing here. And we didn't even really get a chance to connect to either of the characters as they returned to their hometowns. It was just a couple of fights and a couple of levels. And the levels are beautiful. Look at how nice this is. It's just that there was no emotional writing invested in them. Just a couple of barks, and that was just about it. It's very hard to emotionally connect to a story when every single story beat is, maybe there's something over here. No, I guess not. Maybe it's over there. No, I guess not. Maybe it's over here. No, I guess not. By the time we get to dimensional research, we'll find that it has been moved somewhere else, or was found by someone else, or whatever, and we'll have to go somewhere else. It's just an endless chase with no payoff. And that sounds like a bitter downer. I'm trying not to be too bitter about it. I just wish that it was, more. I really like it when a story has emotional connections in it. And this story, you think it should be. It's about a kidnapped family. It's about a woman trying to figure out where her brother is. But there's just no emotional beating. It's just... what happens, happens. Go to the next place. Move right along. I knew I was missing something. Loot, 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 loot. You can see how they have these drops, these light wells off to the sides. There's another set over there. They do a good job of lighting this area, but they're kept misty and distant on purpose because they don't want to draw your attention away from the center of the room. This feels like a very dusty, dingy room because of all of the really, really heavy volumetric lighting. I think that this room is really well done. And I could have really spent a lot more time in her past, in this area, learning what happened when she was a kid, with her. Like she and I could do it together, and it would have been a bonding moment with our main character. Come on, run! This is the only first-person shooter or third-person shooter character I have ever played where when you tell her to run, she runs for half a footstep. But it's okay. It's okay. We're running now, at least a little bit. See, this is her actual run, but she immediately stops it if you take your finger off the trigger. Why is that? Is that like a... let's just check. Huh? think there's a bug. It's not doing what I'm telling it to do. Dunno. Oh well, it's not that big a deal. More fights. Alright. I guess it's been going on for 10 minutes so we can stop. In the next episode I'll be somewhere else. There's not really any reason to keep backtracking on camera. All told, I rather like this area. The visuals are very interesting and nice. It's just that they're not quite as developed as I would like them to be in terms of story beats and emotional connectivity. Certainly good, just that I get the feeling they could have done better. Oh well, have a good one, everybody.